Alrighty. Hello. Hello. I'm back with... Oh, Lag City. Nope, okay, we're good. I am back with more Minecraft. Another hour-long episode. Um... So what am I gonna do today? Right now... Last episode I said I was gonna clean this up. Like the, Oops. The actual area itself. I think I'm gonna do that. So, let me grab a pickaxe, because I don't seem to have one on me. What's the efficiency one? And after that, we can start working on getting some levels so we can finish enchanting. And maybe work our way towards the end. So yeah, let's get started with that. As of recent, stuff's been going on in my personal life. Not that anyone really cares about that right now, but since there's a lot of things going on in a lot of people's personal lives, but a lot of stuff's been happening with the apartment and everything. Like my little sister, just got 2 cats, and she's always wanted at least just one cat, but for the longest time, and my mom forgot to tell the landlord that we got them, and she told him a little late, and the landlord is now telling us we can only have one. So yeah, there's that. Right now we're trying to get a doctor's note because it actually is helping my sister's mental health with the virus and everything going on, since she's not able to go to school or see her friends or anything. And a lot of them don't use like Discord or anything like that, so they can't really talk on that. It's night. Let me sleep real quick. Yeah, so that's that. Hold on. Is my voice actually recording? Is it actually? Yep, it's recording. Is the game recording? Yep, it is. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's just been like, it's just this really intense thing that's going on right now. Everyone's on edge because of this virus that could have been completely avoided, but everyone's just paranoid, and well, not paranoid, but upset and angry, and we don't really know how to go about it. So we're all just kind of taking it out on each other, and it's not really getting us anywhere, except for more anger and despair and sadness, or something like that. I don't know if I'm gonna leave this in or not. I probably will, since I'm lazy and don't like cutting things out. But yeah, it's just, and just life isn't really cooperating right now. I can't say it is for anybody. It's just getting in the way and not really doing much of anything. Just kind of being there to mess you up and make you feel like trash. And it's succeeding. It's making a lot of people feel like garbage right now. Ooh, iron. No, seriously, it's yeah, it's a problem. Like, yeah. I mean, I don't know what will happen if we don't get rid of the other cat and we can't get a doctor's note, because they can't, technically speaking, they can't evict us right now because of the virus. But yeah, it's getting rid of them now would be or at least one of them now would be a terrible idea. They're related, they're sisters, so getting rid of one of the cats now would just be a bad idea, because they've actually gotten used to each other. They like each other, and my sister likes them, so it would break her heart, break my heart, and my mom's too, because we all love those cats. And they're still kittens too. Like, yeah, it's just, man. I just hope we can actually like work this out and have it go away where everyone can sort of just work together with it and just be okay with it. The landlord, she seems really nice, so hopefully she'll be lenient with it, and that's supposed to be a pickaxe. There we go. She'll be lenient with it and be a bit understanding as to why. And my sister's not a very social person either, kind of like me. I hide inside all day whenever I get a chance to, when I play games and I sleep, and I don't really go outside much. So this virus, as in like the sense of leaving the house, I don't do that very much either, but I don't do that, period, for that matter. The only times I go outside is when I have to walk to work, and that's also becoming an issue since I have an underlying leg problem now. One of my legs is incredibly swollen, and I kind of walk funny. But, I'm working through it. It's working. Yeah, it's the least of my concerns right now. My biggest concern is I really don't want to get rid of one of those cats, because it'll hurt all of us. Why did I do that? I don't know why I took those. I needed this. But, yeah, my mom was saying the same thing. She was surprised when she was told that, considering she's seen other people in the apartment complex that we live in with cats. More than one. She's seen them with dogs, too, and you're not supposed to have dogs in the apartments. Like, that's one of the big no-nos, and they have them anyways because of mental health problems. But, yeah. I just really hope this actually gets worked out and not just kind of like thrown to the wind and just be like, yeah, whatever. Can't really do much about it except for suck it up and deal with it, which that would not. Yeah, that would make a lot of people upset. Let me put the stuff in this chest now. But yeah. So that's what's going on in my life. Hopefully everyone else's is going a little better than mine and my mom's and my sister's. It's funny because everyone who I'm working with right now at where I work, they're worried about losing their job, and I've missed days because of my leg. But you're only supposed to miss like 2. I've missed many more than that, not deliberately. It wasn't my choice. I need to find the chest now. It wasn't my choice. I need to get to a doctor and have them give me like a brace or to drain the fluids that are causing my leg to swell up like that, or get like a doctor's note so I can at least take a couple days off, so I can, like, proper days, not just like ones where I just kind of like do whatever, but take days off and heal. But yeah, and I know people are thinking like, oh, okay, well, you walk what? Probably not that far. Why is your leg like an underlying problem? I walk 5 miles. It's not a short walk. It's an hour walk. It's a 5-mile long walk. And when I get there, I work for 2 hours and then I get a 15-minute break. It's a part-time job. Work for 2 hours, get a 15-minute break, and then I work for 2 more hours, and then I have to walk home. So I'm walking a total of what, like 10 miles a day, plus the time I don't get to sit, plus more because I'm moving around while I'm moving around. Where's my... Oh, I've been using my efficiency 2 this whole time. No, it's a creeper. But yeah, we couldn't imagine getting rid of the cats or anything like that right now. And I don't know what I'm gonna do with work since I'm not able to get to a doctor at this current time. Hopefully, if worst comes to worst and I do miss more days than I intend, and they ask me like, hey, what's going on, I'll be able just to tell them, be like, my legs are, specifically my left leg, it's swollen to the point where it's not healthy, it's not safe, and I can't keep walking on it because I might hurt myself permanently. I might put myself in, keep myself in like a wheelchair or crutches or something like that because I wouldn't be able to walk right. The nerves in my feet are destroyed, and it's one of my biggest fears, and I don't want it to happen because despite my my large weight, I actually enjoy running a lot. I don't take full damage from that. I enjoy running. I like running. I do it like to relax, which is kind of awkward because usually you do it to get your heart rate up and get all angsty and good or whatever. But no, I do it to relax because I don't know, I just like doing it. It's nice. And at first I actually thought it was because of the running, like at first. Then after I stopped running, as of recent, and the leg pain, it's actually gotten worse, not better. So we've deduced that it has to be from that walk. And the thing is it's a simple fix too. It's just like get a brace, get like a medication for it or something, or have me take more days or whatever. Well, I wouldn't say take more days. It doesn't seem like a good idea. I think I'm gonna do that. Let me block this up. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. But yeah, doors in here. Yeah, I just hope that we're able to work out all the problems we have going on right now, since it's not ideal to have like transportation problems and emotional problems in a state like this, in a current state like this, considering with all the stuff that's going on. We can't be doing it right now. We really can't. And it's not a matter of like, oh, it's like, well, what about later? What if it happens again? It's not going to happen again because it's never happened before. Like, yeah. I think that's what one of my mom's fears are. She mentioned that a couple times, saying that like if we go to a doctor and we tell them what's going on, and they go, okay, well, what if it happens again? What if you get stuck with this problem again? Of course it's going to come back because I'm probably still going to be walking. I don't really think you want you to get like a car or a bike or something. It's getting a license where I am is one of the most difficult things to do. And I didn't do it while I was in high school because I was worrying about other things in high school. Probably make a separate video on that or mention it in another. Yeah, okay. Cool. But yeah, I'll probably bring it up in another video. But yeah, it's in high school. I just had to work some things out, and I didn't have time for learning how to drive because I had other big problems that I had to work through. And I know a lot of people think like, how many problems could you have? And in high school, you were just a teenager. It wasn't problems like oh, like my life sucks and this and that. It was problems of and I'll just say it now. I wasn't going to be able to go through college and all that because do the things I wanted to do, which I was right. Unfortunately, I'm not in college because the math tests that they make you do, the government issued math tests like the MCAS and all that. I am math illiterate, so I have no concept of it. I don't do good with numbers, in case it wasn't obvious. I'm just not good at it. I've never really been good at it, and it also, unfortunately, doesn't interest me. So there's also that playing in as well, and they're in the school. My school's ingenious. The school I went to, not my school. I don't. Their ingenious idea was to make me take more math classes. The amount I was supposed to take was like 3. I'm pretty sure. I took 8, and one of them was an AB class, and yes, I flunked it. I had no concept of what I was doing. I didn't want to be there, yet they forced me to be there because of my math grades, and there were like D's and F's, and if you looked at every other course, you saw that I was passing every other class with flying colors, like the B pluses, A minuses, well, not flying colors, but good enough. Like, you could get into a decent school, college. But instead, they when the test came around for the college I wanted to get into, since you had to take an admissions test, I passed every other part of the actual test itself, except for the math part. I got on the math part, and I bombed it, like, worse than any of the other math classes I've ever taken. It was just, it was really bad this time around. I'm gonna see if I can enchant this pickaxe with efficiency. Yeah, okay. I can do that if I get level 3. Merge those two together, and then I can do that. Okay. But, yeah. And the thing is that I did want to go to college. I really, actually did want to go to college. And I, technically speaking, still could. But I would have to, from what they were saying, I would have to take 2 really difficult math classes and pass them both with, like, a C or a B. One of them was, like, finance, and the other was, I think it was, like, economics or something. I don't remember. They wanted me to take both of them and pass them. I think it was, like, 2 years in a row before I got to take any of the classes I wanted to take, and I was just looking at them like, that's not gonna happen. It's all the other math classes barely stick. They didn't stick. I can barely figure out factors, for crying out loud. Fractions, not factors. Excuse me. No factors. I can't do factors either. But I can't do fractions. It's like, and you want me to take a math class based off of, like, a really advanced math class on how to handle and purchase things and make businesses and stuff like that. And I'm just like, this is never gonna happen. So they gave me the packet for whatever it was they wanted me to fill out, and I'm like, okay. I filled it out and went on summer break, and I was like, I need to find a job so I can actually pay for this, and I managed to find one and started walking to it, getting paid. And I started thinking, like, do I really want to do this? Do I really want to waste my life away taking more and more math classes that I just can't stand? And I'm like, no, I don't. Right now, I want to be doing anything else. Anything. It doesn't even have to be playing video games. I could be just sitting in my room. So that's what I did. I decided, you know what, I'm not gonna go. I called them and I told them, I'm sorry, I can't do this. It's not happening. And they said, okay, well, if you change your mind, I guess hit us up, let us know. I was like, okay, cool. I didn't change my mind. But yeah, I ended up just moving on and sticking with the job I got, and I decided eventually, you know what, let's just make some YouTube videos. And I started doing that. But yeah, I wouldn't say, and I know a lot of people are gonna probably like think this, like, oh, you're probably just saying like you're like blaming your like life mistakes on them, but no, I'm not. I chose not to go, and I know if I did pay attention in those why isn't this falling? if I did pay attention to those math classes, and if I did show interest in them, I would have been able to go to college, and I would have done the thing I actually wanted to do um, instead of having to not go entirely. But I couldn't. I was just, nah, this isn't gonna happen. There's no way. As I saw it, I was just like, I suffered. I thought about dropping out a couple times back in high school, and the people there were not nice about it. They weren't, not even close. I'm not gonna drop names or anything, but I went to go drop out. I told them that, you know what, I feel like I'm not getting an actual education here. I need to get something that would actually benefit me, not something that's gonna, you know, not teach me anything, like trigonometry and this and that. And they took that as, the first time they took it as, okay, we're not giving you hard enough material, let's give you something that's harder. I don't know how they got that, but okay. And then I told them, no, it's not hard enough, I'm not interested in it. I don't like it, and I'm not learning anything. And I'm guessing they didn't take the second half, and they just heard the first half. And the woman that was supposed to, be like a support guidance counselor, I guess. I don't know what she was. She was just there. She pretty much just gave us a ride to the place, and that was it. She, pretty much said, if I drop out, I'm gonna be a failure. I mean, I wouldn't say that was entirely wrong, like, because it's not entirely wrong, it's actually partially right for most people. Most of the time, that's usually what happens, but she said that, and I was just like, I understand that, but I'm gonna be a failure anyways if I keep going through this, because I'm not learning anything. Going to college isn't gonna make a difference for me. And then she went and tried to bring my mom as an example, since my mom was on welfare at the time, and she still is, but she tried to go and use that as an excuse, and it's just, I'm just like, wow, really? It's, how heartless can you be? It's, not only are you gonna attack me, but you're gonna attack my family too? And after that, I was just like, fine, have it your way, I'll stay. It's in junior year, junior year. No, sophomore year, it was in sophomore year. Because I stayed for it was for 2 more years, so it was in sophomore year. And I went, you know what? After that, I'm going to give this till the end of the year, and then I'm going to quit. I'm going to drop out. I'm going to do the thing I want to do. I didn't. I stayed for the rest of the 2 years. I graduated from there. I don't know where the certificate is. I lost it. To be honest, I honestly don't care. It's not a benefit to me. It's a certificate for a school that is no good, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinions too, because it actually ended up on the list for one of the worst schools in the country. Not state, country. Which is kind of surprising. I'm not going to mention it for potential legal reasons, but because I don't want them, I don't know, finding this if this somehow manages to blow up. That probably won't happen, but if it blows up, then I don't want them trying to use this against me or anything like that. But if they see it, they know who they are. They know who they are. They know who the woman knows who I'm talking about when I say you essentially ruined me. Not, okay, no, you didn't ruin me, but you make me feel like I'm just I'm just gonna say it, like utter shit, like I'm just the absolute worst piece of garbage on the planet. It just, and I'm not saying like, oh, drop out of high school, you're not gonna learn anything. There are some high schools out there that are good, and you'll learn things, and they actually teach you things. They're supposed to teach you like how to handle your money, how to drive a car, how to buy a house, rent, all that. It comes later. The one I went to wanted to focus more on statistics and just make money. It's they screwed me with their own bull, and I do blame them for where I am now. I absolutely do. But I don't blame them for making my decisions. I made the decisions of not going to college, but I didn't go to college because I didn't learn any of the other things that would have been useful to me. Like wasn't able to learn math properly because one, it wasn't interesting, and most of the time when you're teaching those things, you're supposed to make it interesting in some form and way. And two, the teachers were incompetent beyond belief. Yeah, it was just, And like I said, it's not a thing that's like, oh well, all all high schools and all colleges are bad. They don't teach you the things they're supposed to. Like, there are some out there that do teach you what you're supposed to know. Like, absolutely, that's a thing. It happens. And then there's the rare few, like mine, that don't teach you anything. And the few that have gotten to places where they are now are either related to someone who's really high up in this like hierarchy status of colleges or the school itself or the board or whatever you want to call it. Either really high up on that or they're in it with the what do they call it? The principal's gang, not the their team, the staff. Not the, I don't know what they're called. It's like the people who help. What is that? Ooh, block. It's the people that like manage all the principal's decisions and I don't know. I guess you'd call it. They would be the circle in the situation. But yeah, it's like, for example, I don't know if I actually should mention this. It's whatever. The principal's daughter. She was one of those students, and when I say one of those, I mean she was one of the ones who essentially flunked every class. And before I hear anything from anybody saying, like, you did flunk every class, you had an F in every class, I saw your report card, because you pulled it up in computer science when, I'm not going to say names, but this in particular person just, she passed, she graduated, and she got into a really good college, from what I understand. She got into like a top, like one of the, like Harvard or whatever. I think it's a medical college, but I don't remember. She's succeeding, and she got worse grades than I did. And all because her daddy's the principal, or was. He retired after she graduated. Yeah, that actually annoyed me, because I did not like that guy. He was not, by any means. I know a lot of people saying, oh, maybe that's why you failed, or you didn't get good results. A lot of people didn't like him, they still got through, and a lot of people did like him, and they failed too. It's a lose-win situation, depends on how you roll your dice the first time you meet him, and although I don't have a sword on me. Let's use the axe. Okay, never mind, we're backing up. Yeah, it was one of those things. It's either you roll the dice and you get really lucky and he likes you a lot, or you roll them and he just despises you in every way humanly possible. And unfortunately, I got the shit end, and he just didn't like me. He couldn't stand me, he didn't, maybe there's a time back when I was in woodworking, I would make, because I was one of those edgy kids who wanted to be a blacksmith, and believe it or not, I still do. I want to learn how to shape metal and make swords and stuff like that. I made like really flimsy, bad wooden like swords and stuff that like if you were to swing them at somebody, they would break before they even hit anybody. Yeah, he called the cops on me. He got the police outside of the school to stop me, and they threatened to arrest me if I didn't give them my really flimsy swords, or sword, the one I made. Of course it put me in tears. I've never been threatened to be arrested in my life. It was like, it was terrifying for me. And of course I cooperated too, because I didn't want to go to jail for something that I didn't even know was wrong. And the thing is that a lot of people didn't know it was wrong. Other students didn't know it was wrong. Hell, the cop I talked to didn't even know it was wrong. He did that to personally get me. And then the next day, when I called out and said I don't want to go back because you, I can't say assaulted, but it was just inappropriate. His excuse was, well, you have to get over it at some point, and when you do, you can come in and we can talk about it and see what we can work out. It wasn't those exact words, but he wanted to try to work it out. And I'm like, okay, well, if you're going to listen to me and actually help me, then sure, absolutely. I went in, and he said, pretty much this was it. This is all your fault. You're to blame for this, and you don't do it again, or we will pretty much suspend you and expel you. And then he sent me on my way. Yes, I was crying. I'm like, this dude just took something I actually enjoyed and stomped on it, destroyed it, made it look like it was this really bad thing, and then told me essentially that I'm a horrible person and I should never do it again. That hurts, like, a lot. I'm not the kind of person to go in, like, complain a lot or anything like that. I'm pretty mellow and laid back when I can be. But, shit, that actually got me. It got to me. And the thing is that the next day, because after that I went straight home. I'm like, I can't do this today. I can't. It was the last period of the day, too, so it didn't really matter. But I went home and told my mom what happened. At first, she didn't believe me. She didn't believe a word I said until we went to the meeting to have me drop out and grab my sword. And the only person that believed me at the time was the wood tech teacher. He was, and still is, the nicest man I've ever talked to. He looked at me and he apologized from the bottom of his heart. He was like, I didn't know it was wrong. I didn't know we weren't supposed to do that. And he said it was completely bogus because he runs a class to, like, for woodworking, for wood turning, and to make the class to, like, make bows, like archery bows. And he says he lets them leave all the time with those, and they've never been stopped. Why I'm so special and different, he didn't understand. He was just like, he said he was going to try to go and talk to them about it, but from what I understood, they essentially threatened him with his job, and it was, at least that's what I was told. I heard that from another person. I don't know if it's accurate or not, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did. But yeah, it was crazy. After that, of course, I took the class again, because I'm an idiot, and I was an idiot, and I didn't really have anything else to do, so I'm like, okay, well, I'll just do this again. Except I couldn't make, what they called it, lethal and deadly weapons anymore, so I just sort of, I made bowls. I made wooden bowls. And no, they weren't good. By any means, they were not good. They were quite terrible, actually. Where was this cave? There's a cave over here. Whatever. But no, they were not good by any means. They were small, they were flimsy, no. Oh, damn. Hello. But, yeah, where are you? I saw you. I remember vividly him talking to me after that, and just being like, if you need help or anything, you want to talk about things, just let me know. And of course, being that kid who was quiet all the time and didn't talk to anybody, I didn't talk to him. I just sort of kind of cried in the corner. It's like I said, like, the whole situation was handled incredibly inappropriately. It wasn't right. And I mean, even if it, like, the fact that, okay, this kid's making swords and stuff, that's wrong. Okay, I got that. That's wrong. You should call me into your office, let me know. I mean, like, I shouldn't say perfect, but I've never been called to the principal's office before. I was good. I was really nice to people, from what I understand. I don't know what happened there, because I'm a jerk now, but I was really nice to people, and I never had any problems with anybody, not even my teachers, nobody. It was just like this huge jump from, like, hey, you're this nice kid, to we're gonna call the cops on you. Like, it was so unnecessary. It was just handled poorly. Like I said, it was handled so poorly, and it could have been handled so much better if those people, not any person, if those people just, you know, had a little bit more decency for, not even me, just the students around them. Because I remember the first time I finished my first sword. I still have it. It's like this big broadsword that... yeah, it's a broadsword. That's the best way to put it. Again, flimsy. If I were to swing that thing at full force, it would come flying off the handles, and the hinge. Not that I would ever swing it, because that wouldn't make much sense. It's like a display kind of thing. It was made to be flimsy on purpose. It's held together by a dowel and wood glue. Like, a single dowel. Not like 3, not 4, no, 1 dowel. This big, like 3-foot sword is held together with 1 dowel and some wood glue. If I were to swing it, it would break. Like before it hit anything or anybody. But yeah, I remember the first time I finished it was after school. I paraded around the school with it. I walked around the school with it. I had teachers compliment me on it. They were like, it's really cool. And I'm like, thank you. I didn't think anything was wrong at the time. And then eventually, apparently I took it one step too far, and I guess, I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. And the dude called the cops on me. He was like, yeah, no, you're not doing that anymore. Which is funny, because I remember, and I shouldn't say this because it makes me look petty, but I'm pretty sure I look petty, but whatever. I remember I used to take this weightlifting class after school. I used to go to a weightlifting club, and at this club, the teacher, he was an English teacher. He was really nice. He was actually super supportive and everything, whether it's like body positivity or helping you lose weight, whatever it was. He was supportive of you. He wanted to help you. I remember there was this one girl who came in. She brought in... There was a previous time where she brought in a live parrot. I wish I was making this up. She brought in a live parrot into my computer science class. And then this time, which at first I already knew this girl was crazy. So it was just sort of like... I was just sort of like, yeah, whatever, at first. And then when I was at that weightlifting club, she came in, set her bag down, and she was one of those ones who didn't really care whether people watched her change or not, so she just did it in the middle of the gym, the weightlifting area. And of course, while she's changing, she pulls out this like 6-inch knife. That's like, it's this thick 6-inch hunting knife. I'm like, and the teacher sees it, looks at her, and just goes, yeah, whatever. I freeze, and I'm like, I turn to my friend, I'm like, did you just see that? He's like, yeah. I'm like, why aren't they doing anything about it? He shrugs and looks at me. I'm like, so they're gonna bust my ass for a pointy wooden stick, but they're not gonna get someone else who has an actual weapon. And it's not the first time this has happened either. There's other times the kids brought in like switchblades and other things, not like big ones, but like little ones on like keychains and stuff. Don't get me wrong, I mean, yeah, it's small, but the whole purpose is no weapons in the school, because it's a school. I found that out the hard way, because apparently that also goes for wooden ones too. But I was floored by it. And I was so tempted. I was like, I want to report you, but I know they're not going to do anything about it because the principal likes you, doesn't he? That's the only reason why you got away with it. It was just this, like, flabbergasted thing of, like, this school was just so... I don't know. It just wasn't good. And again, I know it sounds like I'm like this whiny, like 13-year-old girl who's like, oh, my life sucks or whatever. I mean, don't get me wrong, my life is pretty okay as of right now. It's, despite the virus right now, I'm in a content mood. I mean, I'm also in pain, but I'm fine. But it was unbearable. It was unbearable and unbelievable. I've never seen someone act like that. And it doesn't help that, and I don't want to get political. Trust me, that's the last thing I want to do on my channel. I don't want to get political. I'm not into politics. I don't care. You want to believe in Trump? Fine. You want to believe in Hillary? Fine. You want to believe in I don't know. What's his name? Vernon, the guy who wears a boot on his head and thinks he's a wizard. Go for it. Do what you care. Do what you want. I don't care. It's not my business. It's all you. Whatever. But when it gets to the point of where I'm in a public school and you're trying to force that stuff down my throat, oh my god, my school was so left, it wasn't funny. Left as in, Democrat. They believed in, what's one thing I can use that's not, like, incredibly offensive? That's the thing, it's no matter what it is, it's always gonna end up being offensive. Like, immigration status. I don't care, if you wanna be an illegal immigrant and come here, fine, go for it. I don't care. It's, so long as you stay out of my business, I could honestly care less. They wanted them over here, over the wall. They didn't want a wall. Okay, cool. But it got to the point where it was, how do I say this lightly? They favored walkouts over race and, I shouldn't, actually, no, I'm not going to say that. Race and immigration status and all that over an actual thing humans need. Water. Never in my life have I ever heard something so stupid. And that's true. It's actually true. That happened. They had a walkout over, it was something going on in the news. I don't remember what, but it was something that was stupid and nobody cared about. They had a walkout for that, which is also against school rules, let me mind you, to do walkouts, versus a assembly, a paid for and what's the word, educational assembly about how we can get more clean water in a more conserved way. And let me tell you that story. I was in a class called Film Studies, right? Good old film studies. You essentially just watch movies and you study them, right? The school one day decided, okay, let's do this. We're going to have a walkout for this thing that's going on. Everyone was like, okay, cool. I didn't want to go. I'm like, I'm not for it. I'm not against it. I don't want to have an opinion on it. Yeah, I don't want to have an opinion on it, so I'm just going to go and hide in the bathroom and just be me. My friend agreed with me, so me and him just chilled in the bathroom, which was really weird, but we just sort of talked, and we were like, yeah. He told me about his, how his family was, like, his whole family was Buddhist, and his uncle was a monk, that was kind of cool, but yeah, he told me about that. About a week passes, and of course, we're about to watch a comedy movie about drag queens. Which was like, okay, I mean, I've never seen one before of a comedy movie about drag queens, but okay, I'll watch it. And then someone brings up, what about the assembly? And I'm like, there's an assembly going on. I'm like, okay, well, let's hear this. And he says, oh yeah, we're not going to it. And one of the girls, who I guess agreed with him on this, asked, well, what's assembly about? And he goes, it's about clean water in Africa and trying to find ways to get water in those countries and continents and places and get it here too, since we are running out of ways to get it here. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm thinking to myself, when are we going? And of course, I'm going to answer my question. I ask, when are they going? Where are we going? He says it out loud. And he says, oh, we're not going to it. Because he doesn't see a point in it. What? So you see a point in something that is completely irrelevant, doesn't matter, and doesn't benefit us in any form and way, but you don't see a point in having clean water. You are willing to die over something that potentially didn't happen, but you're not willing to take 5 minutes out of your life to listen to someone tell you about clean water and how you can get it properly, a more efficient way. What sort of bogus bull? I'm like, this dude did not just say that. I'm sitting there, and I turn to my friend, the same Buddhist one, and I'm like, did he actually just say we're not going to an assembly based on water? And he goes, yeah. I'm like, no, you didn't. I'm like, oh my god. I almost said something. Which, that's not normal of me. I don't speak up for myself. I'm just sort of like there. I'm like, hey, I'm along for the ride. Even when the cops tried to arrest me for some bogus reason. But, yeah, I'm just here. But that set me off. I'm like, no, I'm not doing this. And I grabbed my bag and I left. I left the school. I pushed the doors, the alarms went off, and I went out. I'm like, I'm not doing this. This is dumb. It's like, come on. You can't say that clean water isn't important for people. Like, just like the walkout thing, the thing that was based off of was important for you, water's important to me. It's important to everybody. You need clean water. I'm sorry. You need clean water. Do you want a coli? Because a coli is not fun. Clean water is what keeps you alive, not walkouts. I left that day and I took like a week off. I'm like, I'm not doing this again. And after that day, I was like, you know what? This school isn't worth it. I wasn't going to try to drop out again because it wasn't worth getting humiliated over. But I took days to myself. I just decided, I woke up and I'm like, do I want to go there? And if I thought no, I didn't go. I know it sounds like, okay, maybe that's why you failed and didn't, oh, there's my boots. That's why you failed and didn't get anywhere in life. But I wasn't the only one doing this. There were other kids that were doing this too, and I get it. Like, I got it. At first I didn't understand why, because it just didn't seem right at first, but I see why now, and it's like, yeah, it was just... Is there efficiency 4? I guess we'll find out. But, yeah. And so after that day, I was just, no. The math classes that they made me take, I was like, I couldn't do them anymore because the teacher I got stuck with, and it wasn't even a matter of politics anymore. She was just an ass. Like, I was starting to wonder, like, does she even know how to do math on her own? But no, it got to the point where I was just, no, I didn't do it. I took days, I skipped classes, and I still managed to graduate somehow. Which is surprising. I definitely shouldn't have, but I did. And I'm glad I did, because now I don't have to go there anymore. Yeah. It was bogus. It was a load of bull. Okay. Oops. But yeah. I probably should organize this chest, but no, it was I know I probably shouldn't have made a video of me ranting about a school I don't even go to anymore. Like, but with everything going on, I just started thinking about it, and it pissed me off. I'm like, I gotta say something, because I know people who, if they ever decide to watch this, if they ever see this, they probably won't, but if they ever do, they're gonna probably see this video, and the people who go to that school are gonna know what school I'm talking about. And I hope that this new principal they got, I hope they switch things around. I hope they change it up, because it was so just... You couldn't do the things you actually wanted to do, and it wasn't even a matter... I'm not even talking about me anymore. You couldn't do the things you actually wanted to do. You couldn't take the classes you wanted to take. You had to go by their terms. I get it. You should take classes. You're supposed to take classes like you have to take a certain number of math classes or English classes, but I understand that. But when it gets to the point where you're forcing me to take more math classes than English classes, or more English classes than science classes, or any of them. That's too much. That's too much, man. Let's go check out this sugar cane. It's. Oh damn. But no, seriously, it. My sister almost went to that school. She told me that she was going to go there because, for the same reason I was going, I didn't even want to go to that school. I wanted to go to the one up the street that was for, like, and I can't believe I'm about to say this, for kids that were, like super smart and they wanted to get, like, an actual career. But I decided not to because none of my friends were going, and the only kid that I knew was going was one of the ones I couldn't stand. I said, no, I can't do that. I knew it would have wrecked me emotionally, so I'm like, no, I'm just gonna go to the one that has really low ratings and just stick it through. And I regretted it, along with my friends. But my sister was about to make that same mistake. I'm like, no, you're not. I'm not gonna let you make that mistake. And I know it seems a bit selfish to do that, but I know for a fact I'm not gonna want to make that mistake. Because I've known you for my entire life. I know how you think, and I really, really don't want you to do that, because I know for a fact you won't survive it. And I don't mean like in a suicidal aspect or anything like that. I mean as in, they would tear you to shreds. I shouldn't say I'm tough. I'm not. I'm durable. I can take a lot of abuse. That school broke me. And that is something I never thought I'd say. They broke me. They broke me down into teeny tiny pieces, glued me together again, and then broke me again. Never. No, I said, no, you're going to the other school. And she said, well, I don't want to, and I said, no, it's... At the end of the day, technically speaking, it wasn't even my decision, it was my mom's decision. I looked at her, I'm like, look, you've seen how I am when I come home. Do you want her to be like that? Because you know damn well she's not going to make it through. But my mom, thank God, she made the right choice. She said, no, you're going to the smart school. And for that, I am forever grateful. I really am. I'm glad she didn't go through the same thing I went through. It's just, yeah, it's insane. Let me grab my diamond one. Yeah, I haven't made any cuts in this. I'm not gonna make any cuts. I'm gonna leave all this in because I can, and just because I feel like people should hear about this, and people, if they even do, but I feel like they should hear about it and know that if you are going through a tough time right now, or if you were going through a tough time with school, with the virus going on, and you're finally getting a break off, if you're going through a tough time, just remember that you could have gone to a school, and I shouldn't say that you aren't, but you could have gone to a school where they didn't teach you anything you needed to know. You could walk out with nothing. And it's not a good thing. It's not. Be grateful for what you have if you have something somewhat decent going on. If they're teaching you about things that you feel like is useless, you're probably going to need it later on in life, like anything involving any sort of like useful skills, like driving a car, rent, how to earn money properly, how to save it, those kind of things. If you are learning those things, don't give that up. Keep that, because what you have is you're lucky. You are very lucky. I can't believe I'm about to say this. I would have killed for something like that. I would have killed to have gone to a school that taught me how to do those things, because right now I don't know how to save money well. I don't know how to spend it well either. I have to have my mom help me manage my money. Like, that's not my high school's fault. That's the elementary school's fault, because they're supposed to teach you that then. But they wanted to push off so many things and never actually get to me. It was devastating. So I ended up missing a entire class on how to count money and how to do money properly. And yeah, it. Damn. I just made a hour-long video about ranting about a school that I went to a year ago. I'm 19 and I'm sitting at my desk complaining about a school I don't even go to anymore. And you know what? I don't care. I don't care if I give them traction or whatever. They need to be called out. And if anyone does know what school I am talking about, and if you are watching this by any chance, please don't leave it in the comments. I need it to stay confidential. Like, if people really honest to God want to know, like, find someone else to ask them, watch it, just don't have them watch this video, just don't mention it, just don't bring it up, because I really don't want them to try to get me on something like this. And I know it sounds like, oh, you're hiding something. It does sound like I'm hiding something, and it's like, I acknowledge that. But I can't risk them trying to nail me at a time like this. Not that they would, but no, I can't risk it. It's just for the first time in forever, I feel like I can actually vent about it and have someone, or even better yet, have no one backlash and be like, you know what, well, you're wrong, and I think you're an idiot, and there probably is going to be people out there like that who are going to say, you know what, you are wrong, and maybe I am. Maybe I am a selfish idiot who doesn't know anything about anything, and I'm just talking out of my ass, just kind of like trying to make you feel bad for me or subscribe and whatever, but no, I can care less if you subscribe. Ooh, shit. Oh well. I could care less if you subscribe. Oh, more. But, and don't get me wrong, I'm grateful if you do. I really am. But, if you don't, that's cool. You do you. I'm not gonna force you to do something you don't want to do. I just talked about a whole situation of how I didn't want to do a lot of things, really. Why do I want to make you do those things? You know? Like, that doesn't seem right. Hey, if I'm gonna walk away with anything from that school, it's gonna be that I'm never gonna force someone to do something they don't want to do. Like, if you don't want to subscribe, don't subscribe. If you don't want to like this video, don't like it. If you don't want to, I don't know, pay your taxes. You don't want to pay your taxes, don't pay your taxes. I mean, it's not a good idea, but don't pay them. It's your choice. You don't have to do it. I want to keep looking for diamonds while talking, but yeah, it's no one's forcing you to do anything now, or anything. It's, hell, you want to drop out of high school? Go for it. Drop out of high school. The only person who's going to tell you to stop is either the school itself, or your mother, or your father, or your parents. Yeah, but don't let someone like me go and tell you to do what you need to do, or whatever. Just be happy who you are and do what you need to do. Let me get my torches. But yeah, yeah. I actually spent an hour long talking about a school. I know I'm saying this again, but I'm just looking at the clock now. It's 59 minutes. I spent an hour long talking about a school that I don't even go to anymore and I can't stand. And I'm waving around, making hand gestures and shit, like, it's not like anyone's actually gonna see me. I don't have a face cam or anything like that, but yeah. Well, my time's almost up. I don't think I'm gonna keep strip mining, but when the time's up, I'll stop it and I'll. Yeah, it's up. Well, I'm gonna walk back in a second. I'm just gonna go a little further here, and you know what? I don't know. When I finish this video, we'd convert it, gonna upload it, and I'm gonna sleep. Tomorrow's my day off, as was obvious. Or, well, I guess today my day off, since the upload time, since it's an hour long, it takes quite a while to upload, but yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's head back. And let me save these coordinates real quick. That way I can actually find this again. There we go. Okay. Yes, I used my phone to take a picture of it. Oh, that was weird. There we go. But, yeah. I think I'll end it here while I'm walking back. I hope you enjoyed listening to me talk about stuff for, an hour. That's probably what I'll call this. I talk about things for an hour. Or, let's talk in ellipsis. But, oh, hello. Oh, that was embarrassing. Yeah, alright, I'm gonna end it there. Yeah, if you enjoyed, like, subscribe, or don't. Do whatever. Don't care. I'll do another one of these. It's what, Thursday? When I'm recording this? Yes. Okay. Yeah. So I'll see you Monday. Until then, I hope you enjoy yourselves and have a nice day, I guess. I don't know. Don't be sad. Well, it's kind of hard at a time like this, but be safe, be healthy. Bye.